When I start up my GPS, you can see I have the no fix problem, and it is not just this Raymarine that has this problem. It is simply a little error that is in the system here, and the error is that we have the GPS antenna here, my raystar 120, and inside this Raymarine raystar 120 there is located a small battery, and this battery can last around 10 years, and this boat here is 15 years old. So I think the battery is totally flat, and I will show you how to change it. Here we have the new battery for the GPS, and as you can see, it is a Panasonic, and it is a 3-volt battery, and as you can see, the standing best before 2028. So this battery type can last 10 years. The problem is to solder on these wires here, but you need something called flux. It is a kind of soldering acid you put on to the surface, and then the acid will eat away a bit of the metal, and you can then solder as normal. As you can see, I have a piece of cotton here with a bit of water on. It is because I will put the battery here, and it will then keep the battery cold. It is because the problem is that this type of battery here, they can explode if they get too hot. So it is very important that the battery stays cold. So I have now unwrapped the battery, and you will then take a bit of this soldering flux here and just put a small amount on the battery where you want to have the soldering thing, and when you have put a bit on here, you can then proceed with the soldering. I of course wear helmet and gloves, because when I was younger, one of these batteries was exploding directly in my face. So I first put on a bit on the tip here, my soldering iron, and then I just put it on the battery and then apply a bit of this solder wire here. And that's it. The next step is just to apply the wire, and this side is the plus side. Like that. The battery got a bit hot, but I have let it cool down here on the cold cotton thing here, and I will then just flip it around and proceed with the same as before, and then we can get these wires mounted. And again, I apply some flux to the battery here, so it can get soldered. Then I again apply a bit of solder to the thing here, the soldering iron, and then I again put on the here on. The battery has now cooled down, and I will then apply the wire. And the wires is now soldered on the battery here. I will of course then check the battery voltage, so I am sure that the battery isn't damaged from the heat here. It seems like the voltage here, as you can see, 3.15 is totally okay. So I think my little soldering project here is working as it must do. So I will then just proceed and mount the battery on the GPS unit. First, turn off the power. Then you need to remove the two screws underneath here, and here, and you can then remove the dome in the top here. And just unscrew the screws. I have just removed these two Phillips head screws, and as you can see, the dome is then getting totally loose here. Then remove all the small screws here around in the edges. And then remove the dome from the bottom here. There's a lot of moist inside here. Underneath the electronic plate here, you can then remove it here. You can see we have the battery, and it seems like it is labeled 2004. So it is way over its lifetime. But the little battery is sitting right there. You can then remove the battery by applying a screwdriver here and break the battery off here. When I check the voltage on the old battery, you can see it is 0.07. So this bottom battery here is totally flat. So yeah, it is a good thing to mount a brand new one. I have now soldered on the battery here, and as you can see, we have the plus here and the minus there, and I will then also just measure how much the voltage is. So yeah, I am sure it is working, and then I will take a measurement here to see if there is yeah, as you can see, 3.21 volts. So it seems like it is working. Then I just hide away the battery here inside, and then I can close the whole thing together again here. I then turn on the GPS again to see if it is working. I think it will first find the GPS satellites, and then it must remember where it is. So it will of course show no fix here in the start. And I think I will try to GPS. As you can see, there is some signals. As you know, I saw a lot of condensation inside the GPS antenna, and therefore I have bought a brand new rubber gasket from a company in Randers called Randers Tekniske Forretning. It is a place where you can get a lot of technical equipment, and the old one here, the reason it was leaking was simply because the rubber was it was going apart, and it is almost broken right now. And as you can see, the size is 65 part 2, or what do you call it, which means it is 65 in the diameter, and then it is 2 millimeter in the thickness of the rubber. When we look at the old rubber ring here, you can see when I flex it, it almost breaks. There is all these small cracks in the rubber, and it will then in the end result in a leak. It's very, very hard to see on camera here, but as you can see, the condition is not very, very good. As you can see on this little plastic bag, there is standing a text here, which means that the bag is protecting the rubber rings against UV light. But on boats and other things, one of the main things that is breaking down plastic is the UV light. So it is of course important to get a quality that can withstand UV light, but this rubber gasket here, it will not be in direct sunlight, so I think it will last many years. When you look underneath the electronic plate here, you can see there is this small gasket also, which means it is protected, or the electronic box is protected against water, even if the rubber gasket isn't there. But yeah, I will of course mount a new rubber gasket, and I will of course also apply something of the usual silicone grease here. As you can see, I have of course cleaned the parts a bit, so it is nice and clean and dry when I put the whole thing together again. The rubber O-ring is now mounted, and I am ensured that the gasket here between the electronic plate and the plastic is sitting as it must sit, and the O-ring is then mounted in the bottom, and I will then just mount the top cover, or the dome. I have now screwed in the screws again in the dome here, and the new rubber gasket is mounted. The screws here, as you can see, they are mounted in a kind of some metal, and I think it is a good idea to apply a small amount of grease, so the screws doesn't get stuck. I have now screwed on the dome to the little plastic holder here, and I have then also turned on the GPS, and everything seems to work as it must do, which means there is a new battery mounted and a brand new rubber seal